You wake up tired and nothing functions until the first cup of coffee. Half an hour later, you are unstoppable. You start walking and finish your tasks. You feel like nothing could stop you. But then, 2 p.m., you hit a brick wall. You are exhausted, moody, and wondering, was it the breakfast? The workload? No. It's a biological certainty called the caffeine crash. Because of how our adenosine receptors work, the downward spiral is baked into the process. To understand why we crash, we first need to look at how our body actually handles caffeine. In this video, we're breaking down the mechanisms of your brain on caffeine, how it is actually interact with your system. And we will look at what a safe dose really looks like for you and the potential downsides when things go out of balance. This is part 1 of our deep dive. For part 2, video shifting to the right side, Bruce, and we will debunking the common myths and misconceptions. And finally, setting the safe side protocol for your daily intake. So, let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome to Modus. This is your missing manual for life. Here we break down the science behind our daily habits and show you exactly how to manage them. We all know coffee is the most consumed beverage in the world. 73% of Americans drink it daily, according to a recent survey. So, let us just dive to how it works. Coffee affects our nervous system. Before we talk how its effect, let me just lighten you with facts. There's a molecule called adenosine, produced extracellularly from the catabolism of the excreted ATP. And there are adenosine receptors. When adenosine binds to these receptors, you feel tired and sleepy. We are talking here about receptors type 1, because there are 4 type receptors. Type 1 and 2 are the most abundant type in our brain. But what happens when you drink your coffee? Well, instead of adenosine binding, caffeine will bind to it. When it is bind to type 1 receptors, as we say, it is responsible for feel tired and sleepy. So instead, when caffeine bind, you will feel more awake and focused. There's a study that is published in November 2012 to quantify the in vivo occupancy of A1 by caffeine in human brain. Vivo meaning inside body. Meaning of this study, they want to know how much caffeine bind to these receptors. 15 male volunteers participated in this study. They abstained from caffeine intake for 36 hours and then underwent a PET scan. PET stands for positron emission tomography. They also use fluorine 18 tracer. You may be wondering, why PET and why fluorine 18 tracer? Why PET? Researchers used PET with specific radioligands to demonstrate how caffeine displaced adenosine analogs. Why fluorine? Fluorine, it is a tracer. Second, because it can cross the blood-brain barrier easily, and it can bind to these receivers. Caffeine was then introduced in short intravenous infusion. Intravenous because they do not want to be waiting, so the caffeine effects kick in quickly. The amount of caffeine was about 30 mg per liter, which is approximately 4 to 5 cups of coffee. They find by using PET that caffeine displaced fluorine, and about 50% of these receptors was already occupied by caffeine. Blockage of these receptors lead to adaptive change. Meaning of the adaptive change, some study found that these adenosine receptors increase with time. They call it upregulation. This is also explain why some people, if they want to quit coffee, they will so struggle, because the adenosine receptors is already too much. You may be now ask yourself, how much caffeine is too much? Well, according to the US Food and Drug Administration has set a daily dose of 400 mg for adults. Isn't at all. The women who are pregnant or a person who is sensitive like me, that limit drops to 200 milligrams. But here's the real kicker: the half-life, meaning the time required for a quantity of substance or anything on your body to reduce to half of its initial value. It takes anywhere from 2 to 12 hours for your body to eliminate just half of caffeine you drink. This depends on your genetic, age, and even if you are eating. Imagine this: you drink a 200 milligram cup at 6 p.m. By midnight, 100 milligram is still buzzing in your brain. By 6 a.m., the next morning, you still have 50 milligrams circulating. You are not just drinking coffee, you are effectively waking up with caffeine already in your system, sabotaging your deep sleep before you even open your eyes. This is just a side effect, but what are the other side effects of caffeine? What are the cons? 1. Anxiety. Caffeine triggers the release of adrenaline, the fight or flight hormone. While it boosts energy, high doses, especially over 1000 mg, this is way too much, can lead to nervousness, jitteriness, and anxiety-like symptoms in most people. 2. Insomnia. As we discussed earlier regarding its half-life, caffeine stays in your system much longer than you think. Studies show that higher caffeine intake increases the sleep latency, meaning it takes much longer for you to actually fall asleep. 3. Digestive issues. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach triggers the release of gastrin, a hormone that excites activity in the colon. It is no surprise that large doses can lead to loose stools or even diarrhea in some individuals. 4. High blood pressure. Don't worry, caffeine isn't directly linked to heart disease or stroke. However, it has been shown to temporarily elevate blood pressure due to its stimulatory effects on the nervous system. You just need to be mindful of your dosage and timing, especially if you are already hypertensive. 5. Frequent urination and urgency. Caffeine has a stimulatory effect on bladder lining, leading to frequent urination and a sense of urgency, and other side effects. And now, you may be wondering, if the caffeine can cause all these downsides, why is it still the most consuming beverage in the world? What are we missing? To find out, join me in part 2, where we shift to the bright side and uncover why caffeine, when used right, is a total game changer. If you are ready to manage your habits better, you know where to find me. I will see you there in part 2 or other future videos of mine. Thank you for watching this video.